Alright guys, welcome to week 2 of me taking this Dogmatika Invoked Shaddoll deck to locals. Hopefully we can do as well as we did last week, or maybe even better. So, we'll just go through this real quick. I didn't make any changes to the main deck this week. So we have the 10 Shaddoll monsters. And the reason I'm playing the higher Shaddoll count is because I'm playing the 3L Shaddoll fusion. I prefer it this way. I know people usually play 8 or 9. And I am playing that extra El Shaddoll Genius. And just the 2 traps. Schism makes Winda during my opponent's turn. And Rest Shaddoll helps me float and grind. It also could be an interruption if I set like a Shaddoll, Squamata or Dragon and flip it up during my opponent's turn. It's also... It's okay if you set like a Shaddoll Hedgehog and then you flip it up to search for an El Shaddoll or Shaddoll Fusion. Next we have the 3 Alistair, the 3 Meltdown, and then the 2 Invocation. Magical Meltdown's like one of the best cards in the deck. And then Alistair is just Alistair, it's a 1-card fusion engine. So then next we have the 3 Nadir Servant with the Ecclesia and the Fleur-de-Lis. I know I said I was going to try out the Dogmatika punishment this week, but I decided against it because it locks you out of the extra deck next turn, and the Fleur-de-Lis does not. I know punishment might be a little stronger than the Fleur-de-Lis, but I just don't feel like that trade-off is worth it. And then we have the 3 Ash, the 3 Valor, and then the 3 Super Poly. I was considering playing Bell over Effect Valor, but after doing some test hands and just play testing with it, I feel like Effect Valor is better. I mean, Ghost Bell's probably the better card, more versatile, but Effect Valor is a light. With that, you can make a Construct, and Construct will send Squamata. Squamata will send a Schism, and then you just link the Construct off into the Gravity Controller, and then Gravity Controller will grab Schism, and that puts Winda online. If this was a Ghost Bell, you couldn't do that. So, yeah. So I'm sticking with the Effect Valor. We'll move on to the extra deck here. So I'm playing the 2 App Cologne, the 2 Winda, the 2 Construct, not the same as last week. I'm playing the Makaba, Guades, and I am playing an Invoked Raijin this week instead of the Purgatrio. I know I said I wanted an instant win button, but the Purgatrio relies me on having an Ash or my opponent having an Ash, where with this, just I can have a Wendy, which is I can access a lot easier than Ash. Plus, I feel like this is better against the Tri-Brigade Zoo deck. And then plus, I'm playing the 1 Starving Venom for the Super Poly target, and it goes well with the Anaconda, and then just these links. It's pretty standard. And the 2 new cards I'm playing, the 1 Cross Sheep and the 1 Boral Sword. The Cross Sheep is good because you can just use Schism and then bring back a monster. The Boral Sword is the instant kill button instead of the Purgatrio. I'm playing this over Access Code just because I'd have to be playing the Endymion Link, and the extra deck is just pretty tight. So, yeah, that's my instant win button in the extra deck. And then side deck is the same as last week. 3 Nibiru, 3 Droll, the 3 Cosmic, the Harpies with the 2 Lightning Storm, and the 3 Solemn Judgment. I'm still going to try the Solemn Judgment this week just because I won every game 1 last week, so this Solemn, I'm not going to be siding it game 2 going second. And then Droll is matchup dependent, really more matchup dependent than the others, I feel. And so we didn't get a chance to side Droll in, but I know Droll is a really good card. So that is what we're going with today. See if we can get some wins. Let's go to locals. Alright guys, we're back from locals. We ended up going X1 or 2-1. So let's just get into the matchups. Round 1, I played against Altergeist. That is the one I lost. It was a very, very grindy game 1. It actually ended up going into time game 1, and he threw down a Mystic Mine And I really didn't have enough time to go into game 2. There's like maybe 2 minutes left on the clock at that point. And I was ahead on life just by a little bit, and he would just summon Millseek, poke, and then shuffle back with spoofing and search it. So I ended up losing that game, unfortunately. That's probably my fault. I tried going into a Boral Sword, and then trying to put the Millseek into defense mode, just to stall for time. But that didn't really work because he had an impermanence. He just impermed it during his turn and then summoned Millseek and sent it to the graveyard. So that was my fault for not going into time sooner, or going into game 2 sooner, and not really main decking an out. So there was that. I was a little salty about that, I'm not going to lie, but what can you do? We just learn from our mistakes, I guess. So second match, I played against... It was some Time Thief Xyz deck, and on like Rusty with like a set Fog Blades and with the Time Thief Xyz. I mean, it was okay. Shaddoll Fusion really put in work in that match. Game 2, he made a really good board. I got game 1 because he couldn't get past Winda. So game 2, he ended up taking game 2 by making like 2 Fog Blade set, and then like makes a Dark Requiem and stuff like that, and I just didn't open Shaddoll Fusion to get over it. And then game 3, I bricked really bad, opening up like double Valor. Valor actually saved me, or I was probably going to get OTK'd there. Then I end up top decking a Super Poly and Super Polying his board, and that just won me the game. I don't feel like I should have won that game, but we did. And then match 3, we played against a Prank Kids player. He actually mined me too, but he set a card for some reason, which was fine because I had a board, and then I just took all my monsters, made a Boral Sword, and I still had a Schism up, so the Mystic Mind killed himself. And then, then I just summoned Winda during his turn and he couldn't play. And then game 2, I effect Valored his normal summon of his Prank Kids monster, and then he made a Meow Meow Mew and passed. And then like I used Shaddoll Fusion and I just killed him from there. So overall, I think the deck was okay. I'm going to make some changes though. I ended up breaking on some hand traps. I think I'm going to cut down on the number of hand traps. So that's about it. I guess we'll see next week what changes we make. Alright, thanks for watching.
The tapir is a large, herbivorous mammal, similar in shape to a pig, with a short, prehensile nose trunk. Tapirs inhabit jungle and forest regions of South and Central America, with one species inhabiting Southeast Asia. They are the capybara's best friend.